guys, welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new here or you're a recent subscriber, welcome. I'm taking you guys with me on a dealership launch of a new EV, the Audi Q4 e-tron. So you guys may have seen it recently at the Sydney International EV Auto Show. I did show you guys around, but it was a very quick couple of minutes at most sitting in the Q4 e-tron, and I didn't really go through, I guess, any of the specs in details or anything, because it was on the fly, letting you guys see up close and personal what the car is all about. Today we've had the opportunity to be part of, I guess, the dealership launch. We're heading now from the hills out to Audi Alto at Artarmon, I guess in the north side of Sydney, and we're going to see what the Q4 is like up close. I'm going to share with you guys, I guess, a lot more in-depth content of the car. We're going to try find out as much as we can about the vehicle, and then you guys can, I guess, ultimately make the decision on, is it the right car for you? Is it something you'd buy? So with the power of video editing, you guys don't have to sit in traffic with me anymore. So next couple of seconds we will be at the dealership. Let's go. All right, we're at the dealership. Plenty of cars around. Let's go in. Apparently they've got all the EVs inside, so not only the Q4 e-tron that we'll see shortly, but I'll show you guys some other cars first. So let's go. Alright, so I'll show you guys the dealership. So it's starting from one side to the other side, so I'm just standing in the corner. So over here you'll see a couple of the new Q4 e-trons, and we'll pan the camera around. There is a RS e-tron GT, I believe another one over here, and then a couple of other cars to the right. So we'll show you guys all of them one by one. So let's do a quick walk around first. So as I said, the Q4 e-tron down on this side. Here's the e-tron GT walk around. Black surely looks nice. And actually I'll show you guys the specs as well of this one. So pause the camera here if you guys want to see it in more detail, but basically the drive-away price, $287,140 in this spec. And let's jump around to the white one. It's got a roof pod as well. So again, this is the RS e-tron GT, but in white. Before I do the walk around, I'll show you guys actually the spec sheet. So pause the video there if you guys want to see that. So this one's $294,385. So let's do the walk around. What do you guys think? What would be the pick? The white or the black? And would you get a roof pod? Do you guys need a roof pod? It's a really low car. Alright, and around here there is another RS e-tron GT in blue. Don't know the specific colour name, but it also is quite nice looking. So again, pause the screen there if you guys want to see the spec sheet, but this one here is $287,140. And then there are two other ones here, the Q8 and the SQ8. So let's start with the white SQ8. It's a pretty wide looking car. What do you guys think? So here's another view of the front. Charge port right here on the curb side, which is fantastic. We'll check out all of these cars in a moment. Just wanted to give you a walkthrough of all of the cars here. And then here is the spec sheet. Pause it here if you guys want to see that in more detail. But this one drive away $197,843. And that brings us to the base spec Audi Q8. So let's start at the front. And let's walk around. Alright, so this one here, Q8 e-tron 55 Quattro. Pause the screen here if you guys want to see the specs. $198,946. Drive away. Definitely a big SUV. Alright, so this is the Q8. So I've gone through the specs just then. This is what the side looks like. Pan through to the interior. Here's the seats. So you can see a big glass roof at the top. Let's get in and have a look. Alright, so once you get in, what do you guys see? There's a heads-up display that you can see here that'll project up there. You've got your dash, normal dash. Here's the steering wheel. It is on the thinner side, not a thick one. Here's a screen, lots of gloss black. There looks like another screen down here, I believe, if I'm right. So there's two screens over here. Got your usual controls for the vehicle over here. Now there is a lot of storage in this car, let me tell you that. So it looks like a wireless phone charger, I presume. Yep, thought it was sunglasses holder, maybe not. Two USB-C ports, storage over here. That looks like you could potentially turn into a cup holder, I believe. It looks like these two potentially pop out. There you go. Then you've got more storage over here, and then glove box, quite a big glove box there as well. And here's the seat again, and the glass roof. Now let me put the car in my seating position so I can show you guys what the rear looks like and how much space we've got there. So it would be something along the lines of where we are now. So let's get in the second row. Heaps of space. Look at that. So getting in, yep, definitely a lot of space. Very comfortable. Now I'm just pushing my legs in here just to show you guys. You can definitely fit them under here, but I'm not comfortable doing that. Realistically, my seating position is going to be something like this. So I've obviously got controls over here for aircon. You've got your vents over here, USB-C charging ports down the bottom. Here's what it looks like as a passenger in the rear. And then what else do we have here? We have, pulling this down, cup holders, bit of storage. And yeah, that's it. Let's take a look at the boot. So much bigger boot, obviously, since it's a much bigger car. So storage on the sides. Let's see if there is anything underneath on this one. It's a bit harder to get to though. So it looks like there might be. Lift that up. Plenty of storage. Oh, and you've also got a space saver, something that's not so common these days. But yeah, plenty of storage for cables underneath. And then in terms of the SQ8, I presume the boot won't be too different. But let's have a look at the inside. Fairly similar to the Q8, at least in the second row. And then first row, lots of S designation everywhere. Here, here, here. And obviously also on the seats. So there's the seats. These seats are much nicer. And yeah, this one here says, so this is the SQ8 guys, 489 kilometers at 100%. So there you go. That is the specs on this car. And that is based on a 114 kilowatt hour battery. Alright, looks like the presentation's about to start.
The Q4 as well at the end. Now, as housekeeping stuff, so told us just on my left there. Enjoy the food and beverages as well. I would like to introduce Raymond. So Raymond's the new car sales manager here. My name is Tim. I'm the general manager here at Audi Altarmon, and I've got George over here from Audi Financial Services. So as you know, there's a lot of tax benefit when you go into an electric car. If you've got any question, George is here to answer them for you guys. All right. So to kick it off, welcome to Audi Q4. So where does that sit when it comes? You guys can come closer if you like to come have a look at this as well. So this is the Audi e-tron lineup when it comes to the SUV model. So the Q4 sits at the very smallest one. It is the premium compact size. Then you've got the next one, which is the Audi Q6 e-tron, which is coming out next year around January, February. That's going to be in the mid-size, and lastly we have the premium full-size class in the Q8 e-tron. So tonight here at the showroom we have the Q4, the Q8 and the e-tron GT as a sports car as well. So the Q4 is the main star for today. It is the first dedicated platform for EV only. So what does that mean? It is not a conversion from a petrol car to an EV. It is a complete EV space. Where you're going to get the biggest benefit when you sit in the car a bit later on is the space inside. The space inside the car, it feels like the next level up. So it's not like a small car, it feels like a mid-sized car. Next one, you also have the fast charging in these cars. They can charge up to 175 kilowatt per hour when it comes to charging speed. And we'll touch base with charging speed a bit later too. You do have the strong performance come in a 45, which is a rear wheel drive, and a 55, which is an all-wheel drive, which means two motor inside the car, so two engine essentially. And it comes in an SUV and a Sportback body shape as well. Okay, so these are the specs for the Q4. You've got the 45 and the 55 in the SUV and the Sportback. The 45 comes at a 210 kilowatt of power and 0 to 100 in 6.7 seconds. All of them has the same battery size as well. So the smaller the motor is, generally you get the longer range. The bigger the motor is, you get a shorter range. So it depends if you are into the or more into the range. So when it comes to range, as you can see here, the Q5 45 SUV goes up to 524 kilometers in range at full charge. At the Sportback, because of the sleek design of the shape, you get a bit more, 540 kilometers into the range. The 55 gets 488 kilometers, and the Sportback 55 gets 503 kilometer range. Now, when it comes to charging, there's three ways of charging the vehicle. The first one is at home. It's like a typical home charger on a single phase. It's not one of those plug into the wall socket. You do need to get it hard mounted at home. At a single phase, you're charging at 7.4 kilowatt hour. That charge roughly around 12 hours from 0 to 100. Next one, you can amp it up. If you do have a 3-phase charging cycle at home, you can beef it up to 11 kilowatt. That will reduce from 12 hours to 8 hours. Now, if you were going to use the public chargers, we can go up to 175 kilowatt. That will reduce it to 28 minutes, between 10% to 80%. These are your big ranges. You can see from 0 to 100%. Normally you don't drive it to 0. You'll always keep it at about 20-30%, somewhere around there, so the charging speed will be a lot less than that too. Now, who do we partner up with the charging network? We partner up with ChargeFox. So as an initial offer, any pre-sale with the car, you also get 1 year of free charging outside. So 1 whole year when you're charging in the ChargeFox network, you don't have to pay for that charging at all. ChargeFox is the biggest charging network out there as a partner, so there's plenty of chargers around. One of the chargers here at our dealership, and every Audi dealership will have a charger as well that you can use for free for the first year. ChargeFox comes with an app, very easy to use. If you want to ask any of our staff tonight, please do ask us. We can show you how it works and how we can utilize this charger outside as well, and how that works as well on the app. So yeah, just ask me anytime. Now, as the Q4, that's the interior layout of the Q4. You've got the large display in the middle, 11.6, and the virtual cockpit. So as it stands with the virtual cockpit and MMI display, it's all standard fitted to the car as well. So any of my staff will be able to go through the features and the benefits for you guys as well. Now, this is what I'm talking about when it comes to the interior space. So you've got the Q4 here as comparable to the Q3. And the Q5. So the Q5 is the next level up in the size wise. Front headroom, the Q4 wins out of all the cars. So the Q5, which is the next level up, has 1059 millimeter headroom, while the Q4's got 1061. So just to show you, the smaller car can represent a big car in its interior space. And what's more impressive is the interior length. So in the Q4, the interior length is 1828 millimeters. Well, if you look at the Q5, again, it's a much larger car at 1757. So it's actually smaller on the inside in the Q5 than it is in the Q4. So when you jump in the Q4 a bit later on, try the back seat. It is quite impressive on how large it is. Luggage space in the Sportback is 535 liters against the Q5, again, a much larger vehicle at 520 liters. So just to show you how powerful the platform will be, it can be in just purely electric cars. And so that's a bit about the Q4. Do you guys have any questions before we reveal the cars?
No, we just want the car.
No? Just want to look at the car? Amazing. All right, so we'll start, we'll reveal the middle car, which is the SUV. And then the next two on the either end are the Sportback. So go ahead and there you go. So you've got the Sportback and the SUV. As you can see, the design in the Sportback is a bit more curvy, and that's the reason why it's a lot more aerodynamic as well. The charger is only on one side.
Oh.
Yeah. Please jump on in, guys.
Alright, so let's have a look at this white one here. So this one here, pause the screen there if you guys want to see the specs in more detail. I believe this is the entry level, $100,208. Rear drive, 82 kilowatt hour battery, 210 kilowatts. Options right there. Alright, let's take a look inside. Alright, so this is inside the base spec model. So seat settings over here on the right. We'll pan around to the left. It's a unique design steering wheel. It's hexagonal shape. This one looks like it's got the S-line. And I'll pan across to the left. That's the rest of it. Now, what else do we have here? So you've got, I guess, your usual couple of buttons here to operate the vehicle itself, audio controls, start-stop camera. You've got USB-C chargers down the bottom over there, cigarette socket. Looks like this might be a phone holder here potentially, or sunglasses holder. 2 cup holders. It's a pretty deep storage pocket over here. Then we shall see how big. Oh, that's a decent sized glove box to hide lots of food there. And I'll show you guys the seat again. This is the front passenger seat. And this one I think also had the option of the sunroof or the big glass roof. What do you guys think? Let's check out the second row because they said there's a lot of space there. So let's adjust the car. Now the car does have electric seat adjustments, so I'm just adjusting to my driving style, and then let's check the back. But so you guys can see, that's how much headroom I've got in this car. So there's a fair bit of space. So let's check out the second row. Now, just so you guys can see, the front was my seating position, so that's actually how much space you have there. In the second row, you can see there's obviously a lot less space over here, but this is because the seat's pushed back. So don't forget, I'm about 172 centimeters tall, and that's the legroom that you'll have at the back. So I'll get in there in a moment, and I'll show you guys what that means in terms of interior space. But before we do that, I'll put this up and I'll show you guys how the interior in the second row looks like. Alright, time to get in. So here's the car again. You know, getting in, it is quite the step up from down below over here. So it is quite a high car off the ground actually. And let me reposition the camera. So again, remember, that's my driving position at the front. This is me sitting quite comfortably. And yeah, I've got heaps of space. Now this seat, don't forget also, it's been lowered or pushed down lower. I can still get my feet under there, but it's actually not comfortable for my feet. So my realistic seating position would be something like this. And yeah, plenty of space. Let me flip the camera around to show you guys headspace in the second row. So you will actually notice, now I don't know if you can see it here from the reflection. Actually, I'll turn the camera around again. Hopefully I can show you guys. So you can see over here, this actually dips. So it goes from this flat surface, actually you can see it there. So it goes flat and then it goes up. So that essentially gives you more headspace. So if I flip the camera back around, you guys can see I have heaps of heaps of head space. And I'm quite comfortable. Other than that, what else do we have here?
Also, the back split in silver.
You've got this here.
Yeah, this looks quite real.
2 cup holders, and it looks like it's a 60-40 split. So we'll have a look at that in a moment as well. And then before we jump out of this one, so again, this is the base spec version or the entry level. You've got, that looks like 2 USB-C ports, 12-volt charger. That's probably it turning on aircon, I'd say, and you've got your aircon vents right here. And you do not have sun blinds in this model. We'll have to check the higher spec version. Alright, so let's look at this blue one. I think this might be the higher spec version. There is no spec sheet here. Yep, so 55 e-tron Quattro. So this is the top spec one. So this is in the normal SUV shape, I guess you'd call it, not the Sportback. So let's have a look at the inside. So you'll notice that immediately, very different. The seats are totally different, much nicer than the other one. Love the new car smell as well. Can't wait for 4D technology, then you guys will know what I'm talking about. But yeah, these seats are nice. They definitely come up a bit more, and they're a lot more plush, a lot more firm at the same time as well. And yeah, so let's get in. Now hopefully you guys can see, because there's a whole lot of glare in front of me, but I'll try do what I can so I can show you guys what it's all about. So first things first, from memory, this one seems like it's a bit glossier on the inside. Potentially it's got an option pack of some sort, but if I pan this around, so far everything else looks the same on the interior. This aircon's on at the moment, thankfully, because it's getting a little warm. And what else can I say? It says here e-tron badging. Look, realistically everything else, and this was me just having a quick glance, looks quite similar to the other variant, with exception to these seats. These seats, as I said, really nice. And again guys, apologies, I've got the sun right in my eyes, so we'll have to check out the other one as well. But I believe this dash might be a little bit different too. We'll have to double check that in a moment. This one does not have the option of the glass roof though, so this one is all fabric on the inside. So let's check out the second row. So this is the second row interior. Hopefully that all comes through quite nicely to show you guys. I definitely do like the interior on this top spec model, much nicer than the entry spec. So I won't get in to show you guys, but basically all of this is exactly the same on the inside. So as I said, this one doesn't have the glass roof, but what I do want to show you guys is the boot. Alright, let's have a look at the boot of this car. Alright, there you go, 3 tether points, general storage over here, you've got space on the side, you've got, I'd say, a decent amount of storage over here, and then also with this one, storage underneath for cables and tow hooks and other stuff. And I'll jump into this side. Hopefully the lighting is a bit better, and that can really show you guys the interior again in the second row. And then let's have a look at again at the first. There you are, much nicer. So no idea on this spec, but I'd say if the entry level there was 101, this is going to definitely be more than that. Alright, got the front to show you guys. So we've got the electric motor over here, and you've got, I don't know what's the official name for this, I forget right now, but you've got that stand to hold the hood up. And yeah, unfortunately no storage over here. But this is the Sportback version. The other two before were just the normal SUV versions. So yeah, this one has panoramic glass roof option, fine Napa leather, premium plus package. It is the top spec, 5.4 seconds to 100, 82 kilowatt hour battery. So pause it here if you guys want to see that in more detail. But yeah, this is the Sportback. Might start off with the boot, be a bit controversial. Won't show you guys the front yet. Now I've got the sun glaring in my eyes from the side, so you'll have to excuse that I can't see properly. So let me hold that back. That's basically how much space you have, and you can see the car arching down in terms of the storage. You've still got same storage on the sides on each side. This has a boot mat. Now I would go with the assumption that if we had storage in the first one, you've also got storage in the second one. So this is the underneath compartment, and open again, and you've got cable storage. So let's get in the front and let's have a look. So top spec, this one. So this is, I guess, quite similar to the other top spec on the other side that we just looked at. And you've also got a cloth cover. So I won't get in, I've shown you guys what that looks like, but let's have a look at the second row as well. And yeah, I will get in this one actually, because I want to show you guys headspace. So headspace again, quite good. I have got one fist worth of space, even though you can see over here just behind my head it starts to slouch down. And if you don't know what I mean, look right there. Head goes roughly here and it slopes down over here. Still comfortable though. And yeah, that's the car. So what do you guys think? That is the Audi Q4 e-tron. So two specs, a rear wheel drive entry level, a top spec with all wheel drive, 250 kilowatts. There is no front, you've just got boot storage, you've got a sub boot, and then you've got a sub boot as well, which is really cool to have, I guess, a 3-stage boot or 3 different sections. It is unfortunate though, with the front there is no storage there, so guys, if you are after a car with storage in the front, that is not this one here. What else? The car is quite comfortable, so based on size, it's probably, and I'm only comparing this because I've got one too, it is smaller than a Model Y physically. So definitely, I guess, more nimble or cozier than that. With regards to competition, so I did ask one of the salespeople here, so they did say BMW iX1, BMW iX2, which is basically similar to this, where you've got your normal SUV type shape, and then you've got your Sportback shape as well. So BMW iX1, iX2, and then there's obviously other Volkswagen variants overseas that are similar in size to this one. However, none of the other European counterparts are considered, I guess, their direct target competition. And the other thing I found out, because they all have the same 82 kilowatt hour battery, it only says sneakily lithium ion. I can confirm it's not LFP, it is NMC. So yeah, if that matters to you guys in terms of battery chemistry, these cars, doesn't matter which variant you get, it is NMC battery chemistry. So what do you guys think? So it's $100,208 for this white one, and then I think it was $124,000 for the top spec. It is a lot nicer though, but again, at the same time, it's 6 figures, so it is also a lot of money. Would you guys buy one? Let me know in the comments below if you guys would buy one. I hope you guys enjoyed this tour of the dealer launch of the Q4 e-tron. Supposedly, you can order a car now. Actually, this blue one that I've just shown you guys is actually already sold, and they're picking up soon. So yeah, orders open now. Hit up the dealer. I'll put the contact details down below if it is something that you guys are interested in. But yeah, let's wrap it up there. Thanks again, Audi Alto Atarmon, for the invite. Guys, this is the Q4 e-tron, and I'll see you guys soon.